When you study better, you become a better athlete on the floor. Nothing comes easy. There's 13 million Palestinians in the world. 7 live in Palestine and 6 live outside. So no, don't tell me there is no Palestinians athletes that they from those 6 million around the world. And for sure, I love to win. I hate losing.
Hello, my name is Diana Sher. Welcome to Dialogue Channel. Today my guest is Sani Sakakini, first professional Palestinian basketball player. He ranks second all-time highest in FIBA Asia Championship in scoring average, after the 2015 edition where he ranked first in scoring and rebounds. Apart from being a very successful basketball player, he is a real self-made and very inspiring role model, as he took responsibility not only for his own success, but he contributed in rebuilding Palestinian National team, what resulted team's first ever qualification to the FIBA Asia Championship. Hello Sani, thank you very much for finding time in your busy sports and not only schedule. It's a great pleasure to have you here. So before we start talking about your current life and career, can you please describe this moment when you realized that you want to dedicate your life to basketball?
First of all, thank you for having me in this interview. Actually, when I was young, I was always looking for the games that I was watching on TV, and I was even in the club that I've been here in Palestine. I was always looking out for the men's team, and I was always saying like I wanna keep working to play against those guys and play with them in the future. I always had that in my mind, and when I turned 14 or 14 and a half, something like this, I started practicing with the men's team, and then I started playing games with them. I was the youngest guy in the team, so uh, I had good performance. The coach was making trust in me and put me on the floor with the team. So from that moment, everything started turning that I have something for the future, and I put it in my mind and just keep working for it.
Great, but as you grew up in Palestine, you were born in Ramallah, and this is actually the country where basketball was not really popular or well-developed sport. You didn't have real professional facilities. What helped you to keep this faith, motivation, and belief that success is possible?
Just mentally, we have unfortunately we have no facilities. We have no professional coaches, even trainers for the physical trainers. Like now, everything is about taking care of your body, how you train, and how you develop yourself and your body to be like in the highest athletic people in the world. So if I want to go and compete with them and I don't have those, so it's going to be very hard doing all this by myself. And at that time, unfortunately, there was no YouTube as well. And now YouTube is helping me because you can see a lot of things on YouTube, or I can call some of my friends and that outside and ask them what to do so they can tell me what to do. At that time, there's nothing from that. So I have to just do it by myself. I'm lucky that my father was a basketball coach. So he was helping me a little bit. And then you just have, if you want something, you just have to work hard for it. I was practicing with the under 15 team, and then I drink water and then start the practice with the men's team. So I was practicing like 4.5 hours in a row, just because I just want to do something and see myself in somewhere else. From the beginning, when I started watching the games on TV, and I was seeing myself that I can be like those guys that I'm watching on TV, and I'm lucky that I'm one of them now.
That proves that if you really want something, you can get it. If you really work
Exactly.
hard for
Of
that.
course.
So, yeah, that's very good. That's inspiring. To know these kind of stories. And I know that afterwards you you moved to Jordan, you joined Jordanian Premier League, and beside that, you studied in Applied Science University. How did you manage to combine studies and professional sports?
People that in the States, they are like NCAA, the highest level that they play college in the United States. They must combine between their study and their basketball. So I should be like one like them, because I think it's even easier to do it here than do it there, because there they have a lot of practices, even more than that I had in Jordan. Uh, I fixed my schedule in the college, in the university, to be like I have 2 hour break. Usually the people have this break for cigarettes and for coffee. I did this break so I can do weights in the university gym, or I can go get some shots between the classes that I have. It was hard because a lot of times I was traveling with my team that I was playing for international tournaments. So I have to miss a lot of classes, but uh, it was tough. But I finished it in less half year, so I finished it in 3 years and a half, not in 4 years, just to finish from college and then just be a fully professional.
Well, it's good that you say that, because often when people choose sports, professional sports, and I had the same from my side as a professional athlete, people say it's not possible to combine university, college, and sports. But I think that's so good that you say that, because it's all about time management, right? So motivation, time management.
Actually, it's even you become smarter on the floor when you have when you study better, you become a better athlete on the floor, because you know how to communicate with your teammates, you know how to communicate with your coaches. I think studying in the university helped me a lot in my career. As well, I learned better English because my English wasn't very good. So I take some classes in English. That helped me too in my basketball, because worldwide you have most 90% you have to speak English to play sports in anywhere in the world. And I was playing professional outside the Arab countries, let's say. So I have to speak English, and I have to depend on myself on that, because in China they don't speak Arabic and they don't speak English. The translators speak only English and Chinese. So if I don't understand English, I couldn't survive in China for 8 years.
Sure, I can imagine. And why did you choose applied science? That's so interesting.
I had two offers from two universities in Jordan, and then I chose this one because they have a better basketball team.
Oh, this I can understand. That's a good reason. Well, and as you already mentioned, during your career, you spent time in different Asian and not only countries, and it's China, Venezuela, then Taiwan, right, as well?
Taiwan, yeah.
Yes,
Emirates.
Emirates, yes. And some of the countries, they have completely, let's say, different culture and mentality. So how was it for you? Was it difficult for you to find a common language with people there and your teammates? And did you have any kind of funny stories with this kind of cultural differences that you had to face?
My first year in China, it was like a shock. I felt like I traveled outside of this world. China really have a very different culture that we used to see even on TV. Like, we only know the Great Wall of China and that they eat anything on the floor, but we don't know how they live. We don't know their culture, how they think. I never know, like, there's people in the world, they speak English at least a little bit, but when I traveled to China, they don't even understand the word. Like, even yes, no, they don't understand it. So it was really difficult for me. And the one of the funniest stories, that my first year in China, our coach was Korean. So he don't speak Chinese. So there's a translator from Korean to Chinese, and there's another translator from Chinese to English. So when the coach wants to tell me something, we speak the all languages at the same time. So he speak Korean, the Korean translators translate to Chinese, the Chinese translate to English, and then I translate in my mind to Arabic. So that was very tough. We spent like the time out just trying to say one word. So because he translate.
So communication was the most difficult part.
Yeah, it was, because I can't communicate with my teammates. Every time I
Yes.
have to tell anyone something, I have to call the translator. Yo, tell him 1, 2, 3, and then he translate. And then when he finish, the Chinese guy say something, and then he translate back to me.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but it's fun at the same time, because after I spend some times with the team, even if I speak Arabic and they speak only Chinese, we can understand each other. We don't understand the language, but we understand what we want on the floor.
Yeah, that's great. The body language. Yeah, let's say.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you took responsibility not only for your own success, but also for the success of Palestinian national team, as you contributed in rebuilding it. So you managed to find a foreign coach and recruit some players. And well, that's a great example of individual responsibility. And I think in general, that's a very important skill, especially in the countries with such difficult social and political situation as Palestine. What do you think? What is the best way to educate young people that individual responsibility is one of the most important skills? As you know, one can take a position of victim and say, okay, we don't have facilities, this and that. But what do you think? What is the key to to show to young people that you still should fight for your future and for your present? Let's say.
Nothing comes easy. This is the only word that this is the problem, that a lot of people, they think high level athletes in any sports in the world, everything gets handed to them and they become the best in the world. It's not like that. Even if they have the best facilities in the world, even if they have the best coaches in the world, if they don't want to be there, they're not going to be there. And if you have no facilities, and if you have no coaches, and if you have nobody to help you, and you want to be there, you're going to be there. And this is what happened with me. And I put it in my mind that I was competing with the highest level athletes from the NBA in China and in the other leagues that I play, but I specifically China, because China only gets the NBA and the high level NBA guys. And when I want to go and compete with those guys, I have to be with the same level, if not even higher than them. So I have nothing, and they have all the coaches, they have all the facilities in the States. They get prepared with everything that you can imagine that any athletes wants. And now the athletes, they need a lot of stuff. It's not only you have one court and you have one ball, you're going to be the best in the world. You need a lot of stuff. You need to work on a lot of things. I'm just telling them, if you want something, don't just keep putting excuses that, oh, I can't do this and I can't do this and I can't do this. This is what happened with the national team. My first time with the national team, we lost 60 points against, I think, Jordan. And that was very bad. And I was young, so I was, oh, okay, no, it wasn't okay. How you can lose 60 points? I mean, this is not fair. And then I grow up a little bit. I start being more professional, know the game more, and I have more contacts. And I was like, we're not gonna be the same. And then there's 13 million Palestinians in the world. 7 live in Palestine, and 6 live outside. So don't tell me there is no Palestinians athletes that they from those 6 millions around the world. So we gotta find them and try to bring them to the national team at least, so we can have a more competitive national team. And this is what happened. We start bringing the Palestinians from outside, and then I start putting all my experience that I'm gaining from playing overseas to have the national team. And in any sports, team sports, let's say, you have to have a strong personality to put it on the floor, just not to go and play. You have to show the other team that you deserve to beat them. You just show them that they must respect you, even if you fight like you're not talented, but you're just fighting. They're gonna respect you.
Sure.
So not only the talent, and this is what makes me special in all the teams that I play with. I might not be the best talented guy on the floor, but for sure, 100%, I'm the most hard worker on the floor.
And your hard work with the Palestinian team actually resulted the first ever team's qualification for Asia, FIBA Asia. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
That's great. I think that's a great achievement. And but what I know by also my own experience, when you take the challenge to build something or change something, and like your goals were pretty global, sometimes you have to face some challenges, and you have to face the fact that not everything depends on you, because there are different factors such as bureaucracy, sometimes officials, politics, different aspects. Did you ever have like moments when you thought about giving up, or this is not about you?
It's always not about the person. It's all about, especially when you play team sports. If you play squash, tennis, ping pong, whatever you want to play individually, it's all about you, But when you play team sports, it's all different. You gotta get all the guys together. Everybody on the team got to be on the same page. This is very important. When we traveled before, there's a lot of difficulties. Let's say, I don't want to say problems, difficulties in the national team, because there's a lot of guys, they came from Gaza, some guys they came from Syria, and some guys they came from, I don't know, just Palestinians just came and joined the national team, and 6 guys came from the West Bank. Those guys, they don't even know each other. So there was a lot of difficulties on the floor because not all of them was on the same page. My main job in the national team was making the 12 guys, despite the coaching staff, to be on the same page, because we here only for Palestine. I'm not professional. You're not amateur just playing in the Palestinian League. Now we in the national team, we are on the same page. No matter who's the coach, no matter who's being the manager of the team or the federation president or whatever, if we on the floor not on the same page and fighting for the same thing, we're not gonna make any successful stories for our national team. And the other thing in basketball that you have to defend, we have no history. Like, we can't just go and people disrespect us because we are Palestine. Actually, people was disrespectful us because we are Palestine, because they say, oh, they are Palestinians, they don't know how to play basketball. And for me, because I was the only professional, actually being the only professional basketball in 13 million Palestinians around the world is the hardest job in the world, because you have to do a lot of stuff that I don't even do in the teams that I play with. And when I come join the national team, I have to do all those stuff. When I join my team in China or whatever, I only have to do my job. And then if I want to go and join, let's say, the best national team, I don't have to do a lot of stuff that I do in Palestine, which makes my job even more difficult.
For sure.
So yeah, I put in my mind, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna try to do my best and help the maximum. And then I got some support from all the players for sure, because we are like brothers and they trust me and they listen to me. And we changed a little bit from the culture that we have.
Yeah, that's I can imagine you put a lot on your shoulders, but the most important thing that you love what you do, and this passion that you have in you, this is the biggest engine, I guess. And talking about sports psychologies, every athlete has kind of their own tools to get the best concentration and motivation for the game. So what are your tools?
That's a lot. Just have. I think I like to have fun on the floor when I play the games. It's a lot of times I like to have fun, show the other players that I can beat them easy. Maybe just give me more confidence that and a good feeling. I think, and if some of my close family watching, my wife watching me, just give me more power to play better and just to prove that it's when you play against good players and top teams, you have to prove something. And I love to prove that I'm even better than the other guys that I'm playing against. This is one of the best motivations for me. And for sure, I love to win. I hate losing. So, and winning is not easy. Even in your sports, winning is not easy. People think winning is easy, but you have to do a lot to win. So in any way, I don't care what's the way, but just win.
But I think this quality that you have, that you love to win, is one of the most important qualities, and that's that every athlete needs that. What about people? Maybe there are some people that inspired you, because we all have some kind of inspiration, or it's just your inner engine that is moving in your life. So you are this kind of person that
I think so. I think so. I mean, I look for. I don't feel jealous from the other players that I watch on TV, like let's say the NBA or the highest European players, but I really look up to them and try to learn from them. 5 years ago, I was in LA in America, and I was working out one-on-one with Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol is the captain of the Spanish team. So this is left in me, like put me in a very even more responsibilities that I have, because when you work with high level athletes and you show them that you are on the same level like them, this is very important, and it left a lot of motivation in me and even confidence, because I was working with Pau Gasol and we was shooting together. This is very fun for me, and left really very, very high confidence probably until now from 5 years ago.
And what is the most unforgettable moment of your sports career?
With the national team or teams?
It depends. It can be both.
Yeah, I think qualifying to FIBA Asia with the Palestinian National team when we beat Iraq, because year before that, I think 1 year or 2 years before that game, I think we lost from Iraq, and one more time, I think 3 years ago, before 2015, we lost another time from Iraq, and we lost with big. I mean, like we lost like 25, 30 points. And then when we went to that tournament, I was in a really very high level from experience and athleticism and just being ready to play the game. And when we played that tournament, it was in 2015 in June in Jordan. So I was really ready for it, and I was motivated. I already signed my contract in China. I was working out. I was ready with the national team. And then we beat Syria, we beat Yemen, I think. We lost a very competitive game against Lebanon, which is one of the top teams in West Asia. We lost a very competitive game against Jordan as well, one of the top teams in West Asia. And then it's like a final game playing against Iraq. Who wins will qualify to FIBA Asia. And we went to the game, and all the Iraqi players was trying to piss me off and saying words and talking bad words to me. And I was really concentrated on that game, and we were up a lot of points, and then they came back and we almost lost the game, and then we won the game. So this is one of the best feelings because it was the first time in history that Palestine made something big in basketball, if not in team sports. So when we qualify, I mean, everybody was shocked, and all of us was really very happy, like jumping in the locker room, shouting crazy. It was really one of the best feelings that I have in my career. I won a lot of championships in Palestine. I won championships with my teams in Jordan, in Emirates. I won a lot of very important games in all the teams that I played with. I went to the finals in Venezuela. But I think I had a lot of good times and good feelings in basketball. But I think this feeling was one of the best.
I can imagine it was a very emotional moment.
Yeah, it is.
So, and like going a bit beside of your sports career, I know that you gave a beautiful speech in TED Talks, but I guess it's only in Arabic because I couldn't find an English version, right?
I have a link I can send you. It has subtitles.
Oh, that's great. And I've seen that you are also a founder of a restaurant, so that's completely different side. How did you come to the idea to try yourself in gastronomic business?
When I play outside, I was even having a conversation with one of my teammates. Like, he asked me one thing: what are you gonna do after basketball? I didn't know what to say, because us, the athletes, we have like a range of age that we can play. It's like, let's say you start at 20 and then you finish at 33, 35, 36, 37, let's say. But after that, what are you going to do? So are you want to be a coach? Do you want to be a trainer? Do you want to, whatever you want to be? Because when you get used being an athlete and making money from playing sports, and then when you stop, there's no money. And then you're going to spend the same amount of money that you are spending. So I was thinking, I'm not going to be like those guys that they play in the NBA and they make 50, 60 million. And after they finish their career, 5, 6 years, they're going to be broke. So I start thinking that I have to have some businesses on the side just to have some extra money from that and start building from my after basketball life. And I like cooking, traveling, living by myself, and I think I have that hobby. I love cooking, so I have one of my best friends. He knows some stuff about the food, so we were like, you want to open a restaurant? And I was like, yeah, why not? And then the idea at the beginning was like, we were talking. And after 1 year, we had that restaurant. And now it's 3 years.
Which kind of food you have there? Is it like Palestine or it's Mediterranean?
It's not actually. It's not for athletes. It's pizza, burgers, wings, and sandwiches. We have some Italian like lasagna. We have some Arabic shawarma. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. It's like a fast food restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like fusion of different things. Okay, yeah.
It's Italian, Palestinian, American. We combine all the stuff in it.
And as you like cooking, what is your most favorite Palestinian dish?
I think ملوخية.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I absolutely love it. I'm always waiting for my family to send me some packages with that too when I'm in Europe.
I love my family, love being around them. And my real close friends, they are all from Palestine and they still live here. So coming back from my season every time, spending 7-8 months outside Palestine, and then coming back, I can't wait to come back here just to see my family and my friends and spend the summertime with them. And now the corona just put me in here for 6 months. spending all the time with them. So it was a blessing, but at the same time, I lost my contract in China because I couldn't go back. You know, the borders in Palestine is still closed even until now.
Sure.
And the Chinese league, they already start playing, and this is, I mean, the good side and the bad side.
Yeah, that's challenging time for all, and it brings a lot of a lot of changes this year. I mean, that's yeah. But you know, I always try to believe, oh, what happens for a goodwill. So let's see.
Of course. I mean, even really when I go to the gym, a lot of people, they go to the gym and they just spend 1 hour and 2 hours. They go back with the same shirt. If I go to the gym, I start sweating like crazy, working out, working hard, go to the basketball gym, do the same thing. I think hard working, I think, or just work hard.
If you had a chance to look back what would you wish or advise to your 10 years old self?
I wish I traveled outside and learned more basketball earlier than I traveled. Because when the first time I traveled to LA, I think it was 2015 or 14, I can't remember. I think 14. And I spent there 25 days. I paid for my camp. I contacted a professional personal trainer there. Those 25 days changed my whole career. So, and I was at that time 25 years old.
I mean, already with this setup that you had, and talking about, of course, that you were born in the country, that there were no facilities. I think you should be really proud of yourself, of what you have achieved, and your story is very inspiring. So thank you so much for everything that you do, not only for yourself, but also for your team and for the country. And I think this kind of stories are so inspiring, and we should have more Sanis.
So actually, this is one of the main things that really inspire me to keep staying on a high level, because I have to keep always proving for the people that this point that I can do it even with nothing from my background from Palestine. You know, I have nobody. Like if you live in anywhere in the world, you go and ask the guys that already been professional before you, oh, what you did before, what do you do before now? I mean, a lot of questions that on your mind. The difference with me that there's no one before me did that, so I have to do it all by myself. So this gives me my daily quote that you just asked about, is just staying on representing myself, my name, my country on a high level, despite all the things that I grow up on.
Thank you so much. It was really interesting talking to you, really, and really inspiring. Thank you.